What you guys are looking at is the eastern bark godwit. We're in Mapua here. These birds fly bloody miles and miles. You wouldn't believe it. They come from Alaska, and I'm here in New Zealand right now, my favourite place. Here's where they start. They fly all the bloody way. Right, it's a 7 to 9 day non-stop trip. They don't even stop for sleep to New Zealand. They probably get the North Island and they come down here, and then when they're done, this is a real special place here where they're stopping, and they go all the way here, Yellow Sea, this island here, and then back to Alaska. How powerful is that bird to fly that far, brothers? Amazing, isn't it? Right, we'll try this again. How you going, brothers? I was just starting to film, and this lady behind me started talking about the godwits, and I wanted to keep going because it's a snap vlog. So that's really interesting stuff, isn't it? And what's really interesting is that they fly for up to 9 days without taking a stop day and night. And they come here, they feed up. So they have their offspring in Alaska, and they have and then they come back here and they feed here, and then they fly away before the winter. But sometimes some of the younger ones stay over winter. But most of the time they go that big circle. Anyway, this is not a video about the godwits. I just come down here actually to make a video, and I saw them. I thought, shit, that's rare, because they just come in, and it's a big deal to us. What the video is about today is about censorship. Oh man, our Prime Minister, Ardern. Yes, she said that in the latest forum she was speaking, saying that words are weapons. Really? Speech is a weapon? We are so controlled. Now, I put a video up last night about another topic, and YouTube have taken it down and have told me this is a warning, it's the first time. Next time I'll get a strike, which means I won't be able to post anything. So I put a lot of work into the video I did last night, and they took it down. Bastards! They took it down. They might take this one down too. Why did they take the video down? Well, I can't really talk about it, can I? Because we're controlled. Because what I said was for all of you people that said, I don't want to go along with these mandates, you had no choice really, did you? I don't want to be vaccinated, or I don't think this or think that. I want to make up my own decision from what my children put into their bodies or what I put into my body. I want to say to all you people that did that and stood up and didn't, a lot of you lost your jobs, a lot of you were ostracised, a lot of you got put down by family members, a lot of you suffered humiliation, got treated as second-class citizens. Is the phone going to stay there while I'm talking? Probably not. I'm just trying to find a place to stick it. A lot of you even broke up with your partners because they had a different spin on the whole thing. Parents and children divided. It was a very polarising time in our country. Did the mandates really work? Did the work? Well, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. We were told, it led to believe it was going to do. And so, anyway, the general surgeon in Florida announced that if you're a male between 19 and 39, you had an 84% more chance of having a cardiac problem. And I can't even talk about this. It's like I'm hamstrung here. I'm tied up in my feet. I can't speak because I did talk about it in the last video and it got taken down. So they might take this one down too. I just haven't posted as much. And I've started off showing the godwits at the beginning. So hopefully the algorithm gets into trick that this is about the godwits. Fuck, I hope so. Point being is that if you were a young man that was 19 to 39, it now turns out, with science behind to back it, that you had good reason not to want if you were a healthy young man, because you were at high risk of a cardiac arrest. So anyway, I talked about that, but it's not just that, it's everything. And I'm not an anti. Now, I got my flu vax this year, and I'm not anti that. It's just I am anti no free speech. We've changed so much in the world. When I was a young boy growing up, both my granddads used to have big vegetable gardens. Great big fuck-off vegetable gardens with big cabbages and broccoli and cauliflower and beans and corn. And I'd go out there with Grandma and we'd get the peas and we'd pick them in the pod, and I'd be chewing on them as I was picking them. And we had roosters, and Dad would hunt, and he'd give meat to Granddad and fish to Granddad he'd catch, and we'd switch everything around and share everything, and as a family we'd work together, and Mum would save all the old woolen jerseys and re-pick them and re-knit them again, and she'd darn the socks and everything. It was hard work, but we looked after ourselves and we looked after each other as a family. And today, this whole new sort of world, it's dividing us up. It's destroying families. It's breaking families up. We don't save everything. We're forced to keep consuming and buying new stuff all the time. I remember Dad's workshop. He had every nut and bolt, and I've copied him too. Everything would go into little jars. He'd save all the washers for another time. So you didn't have to go into town to buy something when you're building something. You had it in a jar somewhere, in a box. And Mum, she'd save all our old clothes and she'd make do with it. Either make it into rags for Dad for cleaning the workshop, or hand it down to the next children or the lady next door. Everything was reused and recycled. We're not today, we're not really pushed to do this anymore. And there's a lot of division going on in families. The family model's been destroyed, and this whole thing that's going on, not just in our government in New Zealand, but it's a worldwide thing. It's happening in Australia, it's happening in Canada, happening in the UK, it's happening in America. I reckon we're going to stand up and go, no, stuff it. Now, planting vegetables is something that I do, but I also buy vegetables too, because these take years to grow. And I grow these, and what I do is, I grow them in the ground, right? Because these are hydroponics. And I pick them off and then they keep on growing. That's a cheap way to do it. You get the food once, but you get it again. I do the same with spring onions. But I also have a massive garden, because I can't, for the people I feed myself, I can't keep up with what I grow in a garden. So to say we're going to be self-sufficient and grow our own vegetables it's a big shot. First of all, you could have the land. Then you've got to have the resources to do it. You've got to have the right sort of soil. You've got to have the right equipment, the spade, the shovel, the hoe. You've got to have the netting to get the birds off. You've got to have all the stuff. And you've got the time. And you've got to have the know-how. I've been learning to garden just for like a couple of 3 years, really. Still got a long way to go. So being self-sufficient is something that really, you kind of grew into it when you were young, like we did when I was young. And now I'm relearning it because of the way the world's going. Because we've had lockdowns and because we've found out that, hold on a minute, we can't get food right now. I can't get my vegetables, or I can't get my meat, or I can't get my fish. So we're learning to be self-sufficient. But we're not encouraged to do that. We're encouraged to rely on a system to feed us. What is it? By 2030, we're going to have no money and be happy? We're going to sit back and everything's going to be provided? Do you trust that model? I don't. And if you're someone like me that grows his own vegetables, what do they call it? Preppers, people that are preparing for the future in case something goes wrong. You're classed as a conspiracy theorist. No, you're not. You're just being sensible. You're just making sure you got something because you've already had a taste of what it's like to go to the shop and see no toilet paper on the shelves because people are silly and they had to get all the toilet paper. I wasn't grabbing the toilet paper. I was grabbing the commodities, the things I wanted to have, like, what did I grab when things were in short supply? Salt, coffee, cream, butter, dairy stuff. It's crazy, isn't it, that we're having this conversation, and crazy that you can't even speak freely and we're being pushed more towards it. So when Jacinda Ardern said that words are weapons, or speech is like warfare, I'm not sure if that's the exact words, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I think most of you that watch mainstream media or follow stuff, I don't actually have it television, so I don't, but I read it online. I saw it actually in the video. I thought that's really getting to the edge of bloody dangerous. That's touching on communism. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think common sense should prevail. I do think the truth always lies somewhere in between. And there's some things in the world that need to change. There are things that need to be made different. And I'm always ready to be wrong. And as far as free speech goes, we should be able to talk freely and we should be able to make mistakes. As soon as we say something that doesn't fit the narrative, we are deemed as spreading misinformation. What's wrong with me saying something that's wrong and me putting my foot in my mouth, which I regularly do, and one of you guys pulling me up and saying, hey, Clay, no, that's not blue, it's red. Or, Clay, no, you can't do that, mate, that's politically incorrect. Okay, I'm corrected, and it's a public forum, YouTube. You speak, I speak. You speak with comments, I speak through the camera. And I don't have comment so you can't make a comment like all the videos of our government speaking is always you can't go to the comment section and say your 2 cents worth. Why do they want to shut us down that we're so controlled? It's bizarre. It's like real big brother shit. I don't know. I really wonder sometimes. Hey, here's something I learnt the other day from one of the ladies I look after. I normally look after young men, but I'm looking after Cora. She's 28. She says, how do you tell where you eat the asparagus? Do you eat it like, because it gets to a point where you can't eat it. And she said, what you do is you go like this. And where it breaks, that's the tough bit. And that'd be right, that's pretty chewy. She's right. Thank me later. Good chomping. So, our glues at home, the bloody pukikos twice pulled me out of the garden. So we might have to do a pukiko catch and cook. Short and sweet today. Sorry you didn't see my last video that YouTube took down. But I'm still speaking. They might take this one down too. So if you get to see it, then we got through this time. Your thoughts, and if you are one of those people that said, I'm not getting that, and you lost your job, or you got ostracised, or you got separated from those you love, if it caused pain in your life, hats off to you for standing up for what you believe in, whether it's right or wrong, just for having your own beliefs and having the balls to stand up and say what you believe in. And as I said earlier on, if you're between 19 and 39 years of age and you're a male, then you have bloody good reason to stand up. And that's science. Check on a brother or a sister, and we'll see you in the next video. See you later.